So I'm Derek Browers. I'm a principal product manager here at ServiceTitan. I own the reputation product here in Marketing Pro. I've been building B2B SaaS products for 14 years, a dozen of those specifically in the reputation space. So I was the vice president of product at a company that was a direct competitor to Yext, who we partner with at ServiceTitan. Did that for 11 years. Was the first employee. We sold the company. We were working with big multi-location businesses, so like Starbucks, Home Depot, 7-Elevens of the world. So I share that to say that I have a lot of years in this space in particular. So I don't claim to be an expert in anything, but I've seen a lot of things that work, seen a lot of things that don't work, and I've been at ServiceTitan for about a year now, so I've seen how they can be best adapted to the trades. So excited to chat with you all today. And I'll kick it over to, I'm going to kick it to Tristan first because you got your camera on, so I'm looking at you.
Sure. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. So yeah, my name's Tristan. I obviously live in the Bay Area of California. Kind of a little bit different because my business is a garage door company called Number One Garage Door. It's actually located out of Orlando, Florida. Has about 50 people total throughout Florida and kind of the Southeast. So that's why I can be over here. There's managers and stuff like that over there. And I joined the call because I was in a Sparks session for garage door companies. They opened up one for us garage door companies, and they said, "Hey, here's a whole bunch of pro, demos that are going on." And I'm newer-ish to ServiceTitan. We've been using it for about 3 months or so, but we're going really fast and trying to just see what's available. So I kind of jumped on the call just to see everything about Marketing Pro. I've seen a few things, like it can get campaigns that you have in your Google ads sent over, so it doesn't just say PPC. It actually breaks down all the campaigns going on, and it can feed data back. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about the feeding data back and the value and stuff like that. And I understand there's a reputation part where you can match up reviews to to customers and stuff like that. And just see what else is available, so I have the all-encompassing idea of the program. So that's kind of my reason for joining today. Just I want to know everything about it so that we can make an informed decision.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And I made a note to make sure we have a demo in our conversation today so we could walk through the product as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, cool.
I'm Corey. I'm a content marketing manager. I work with Heartland Home Services. So we have about 40 brands that are on ServiceTitan now. I help our brands a lot with getting reputation management set up and making sure all their listings are synced, and really just kind of Marketing Pro as a whole. So really just joined to see like what new features are coming with Marketing Pro. That way I can coach our brands and make sure they're up to date.
Cool. So new features, definitely we can cover that too. All right. Well, it's nice to meet you both. Let's go ahead and dive in. Pull up a demo account for us to walk through. I'll share my screen. Okay. So curse of the million browser tabs. All right, there we go. All right, so reputation lives within marketing. So when you are in ServiceTitan, you'll of course go to marketing, and then really the reputation journey starts with reputation overview. I'm going to click on this, and Corey, you're going to say, "I've never seen that before, Derek. What is this page?" And that is because this is something that is very, very new. And I'm talking with my engineering counterpart right now. It may be going out right now as we're talking. The fact that I'm seeing it in the demo leads me to believe that may be the case. So you'll be seeing this quite soon. But in any case, the reputation overview dashboard is designed to just give you sort of a snapshot overview of how well you're doing from a reputation perspective. What are some of the things you can do to improve your reputation, and give you a bit of a jumping off point to getting value out of the product. If we zoom out and like answer the basic question, like what is the point of reputation management? it's really about one thing in my mind, and that's getting more leads through organic local search. Like that's really the point here. And we do that in two ways. Number one is we do things that help your businesses rank better in local search. So if I'm searching for, garage door installation near me, we look at like that local pack of businesses that show up, we click in to view the full map view and we see, the million businesses that provide that service. How do we better ensure that your business is among the top results there? Because as we all know from our own experience using these products, we're not going to scroll and keep digging and digging. We'll probably find someone who are willing to consider in that top batch of results. So where you rank is super important. And, the sort of local SEO, maximizing the top of the funnel, like that's really one of the ways we help you attract more leads. Second way is, okay, you're showing up there, but again, you're showing up with all these other folks. Like, how do you send those signals to a potential customer that like, hey, you should consider us over the competition? And, how do you convert those viewers into folks that are picking up the phone to call you? And so those are the things we really want to give you some kind of sense of in this overview dashboard. Corey, this previous version of this really was pretty basic and just focused on reviews. We still have that data here. You'll scroll down, we'll see that, we'll talk about that. But we're putting that in its appropriate place of prominence. Like at the end of the day, like let's talk about results. Like how are we helping you move the needle in terms of potential leads you're generating? How many people are clicking on your Google listing to call you? How many people are clicking to go to your website? These are people that are potential leads that hopefully, and in future versions of the product, we want to be able to show like, hey, what did they do? Did they turn into real leads? Did they turn into real customers? So sadly, this is my demo account. I don't have a lot of data here. So you're going to see a lot of zeros, but in your account, you will see numbers. So you'll see that potential leads total, you'll see change year over year. We know businesses in home services industry like tend to be fairly seasonal, of course. And so year over year data usually make more sense. And like, hey, compare this month to last month. So showing how many potential leads you're generating, showing where you're ranking in that local pack search. So we're looking at your primary and secondary business categories and where does your business rank when people are searching for those category terms. So you get a sense of your visibility and then how many views are there actually. So, to me, when we talk about reputation, people, I get it. They gravitate toward reviews. Like, what are people saying in reviews? What's our rating? I understand. Yes, it's important. And it has a lot of emotional resonance. It's your business. Like, you care about your reputation. But we have to remember reputation is ultimately a means to an end. That end being like a customer finding us and picking us over the competitors. So that's why we have these metrics really front and center. So you'll look at this and you'll say, great, wonderful. Like, what do we actually do to move the needle here? Like, yeah, I want more potential leads. I want to rank better in search. And that's where we get to the sort of next level of data, which is indications of how well you're doing across dimensions that are going to get you, they're going to extract value out of the product. So location completeness, listings management is something that happens through ServiceTitan, through our partnership with Yext, which means making sure your location data are complete, accurate, and distributed across the online ecosystem. Most of these websites, most of these directories you've never used, a lot of them you've never heard of, but they matter because they get crawled and indexed by Google. And there are a lot of really good data that show having those listings out there actually has a material impact on the number of clicks your Google listings get. Yext did a study of their install base. They just released the results earlier this year that showed those folks that had that listings network distribution got 163%, I think it was, more clicks on their Google listings. So just having that broad coverage, having that broad listings management, people are like, I've never heard of these sites. Who cares? Why do I need these? You need them because Google is using them as a point of reference. And so it does matter from a Google lead generation perspective. So making sure you have those listings there and that you're completing your data. a lot of people are like, yeah, we've got our listings. I'm like, okay, well, do you have your services there? Services area. When was the last time you updated your photos? Are you utilizing all the functionality of those listings? And by that, I mean Google more than anything. A lot of folks, then their answer is like, maybe we could do better. You really want to make sure you're getting to maximum profile completeness, because that is foundational to local SEO. I'll pause here before I continue with this so far, because I've been talking a lot. And I'm spending a lot of time on this page because this is really the story of the product. The other stuff, frankly, is going to make a lot of sense really fast. But any questions or feedback so far?
Where would you go to get all those citations on all those sites that help you rank more in Google and stuff like that? Like, where would you physically go in here, or how to push it out to, the internet, I guess?
Yeah, so we have a couple ways you can get there. Now you can go to complete profiles. I think there's only one location in here. But this is where your locations live. So in the locations tab, so you create a location, you fill out the form. If you have listings activated for the location when you add it, then that is going to, via Yext, make sure the data are syndicated out to their network of directories, which is around 70 in the US that we connect with through them.
Okay, so it's sent to a company called maybe Yext, and they help index it. Okay, cool.
So, Yext has been, they've kind of been the 800-pound gorilla in like the listings management space forever. But their business is really being kind of this centralized point of management for your location data across the web.
Okay.
So they have direct partnerships with these companies, API integrations when available with these companies, so that you can have direct management over your location data. Because what you don't want is a lot of junky data out there. So when Google's crawling the web, it sees 123 Main Street, 124 Main Street.
Yeah.
123 Adams Avenue, and it's all the same business, because then Google sees that, trust is diminished, your search ranking tends to suffer, and again, this results in less folks seeing and clicking on your business listings on Google.
And that's all done in the background. You just got to fill out the location stuff then. Okay, cool. I didn't know if you had to go in there and go into each of their, sub or websites are pushing it to. And okay, that's good to know. Cool.
No,
okay.
And that's the whole value prop really for them. It's like, hey, managed as a single record, and like they handle all the data normalization, like making sure the categories are mapped properly to each directory, because they all have different business categories and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, review request rate. So this is going to show you the percentage of jobs that resulted in a review request. So one of the features of Reputation is we can help you create automated surveys that when a job is completed, or if a technician manually triggers the request, customer gets a notification, hey, we'd love it if you left us a review. So this gives you an indication of like what share of your jobs are actually getting resulting in review requests. What is appropriate for you here is going to vary widely. Some folks, like certain jobs, we don't want to send review requests. Maybe some people say, yeah, all of our jobs, we want review requests. So this one is like your own benchmark. We can't really tell you what that should be. I will say, though, that when we're talking about local SEO, again, one of the main signals Google looks at is the review signals. Review signals are a proxy of real customers' experience with your brand. And so Google, at the end of the day, wants to pair Google users with great experiences in businesses because it reflects well on Google. It makes you want to go use Google again, which means they can sell more ads and people at Google are happy. So they look at reviews as a really important signal. And one of the things they want to see is a steady cadence of new reviews. So what you don't want is like, hey, we got 5 reviews last week, 3 weeks passed, no reviews. Hey, we got another review today. Awesome. What you really want is a steady drumbeat of reviews. Every day we get a review. Every day we get 2 reviews. Really, really important. So the way, of course, to drive this number in ServiceTitan is the review generation product, where you can build a survey that will allow you to create an automated or manually sent message to your customers that says, hey, if you liked your service, please review us on Google. This is all customizable. Tristan, we could get into this in detail if you want. I'm just showing you this now so you kind of see how these things map together. But this is how you would move the needle here.
Okay. Is there a way, not reviews, but ServiceTitan, they automatically send surveys out, for how the tech did 1 through 5. It's one of the things. Is there a way to, if we send a survey to a customer and they don't take it, to like ping them again, so that way if they do respond 1 through 5, it'll show up? I don't know if that's a separate from reviews, it's surveys, but okay, there's survey. Cool. And you can send it.
So,
I know it sends it once by default, but you can send it again.
You can send it again. So yeah, let's see if I can. It's going to give me a free business unit. Let me see if I can show you one of these ones. So you'll see here we have resend conditions. So you can say, okay, after a specific number of days, resend this message automatically to capture those folks that maybe didn't respond the first time.
Okay. And then if they do respond 1 through 5, it'll go into our reports for surveys, right? It's not like, I don't know. I feel like if I were to do it, let's say, because right now we don't have Marketing Pro, but it sends, hey, a survey 1 through 5, and they don't reply. So then we'll put something in. I haven't tested it yet, but maybe manually, like, hey, if you have a second, can you please take a quick survey? I feel like if they reply then, like, it won't go into our reporting. It'll just be a text message. I'm not sure that I haven't tested it to see if it does go in the reporting or not. But this way, though, if they did do it on the follow-up, it should go into all our reporting and stuff like that. We use it for KPIs for technicians.
So the best practice for using this is really to drive the customers directly to Google. I'm not even going to say Facebook.
Okay, not for surveys, then for reviews.
Yeah, I mean, you can set this up as a survey where it's like, hey, we want to capture like internal feedback, and like, hey, if it's good internal feedback, like, please go leave us a review on Google. Like, I discourage people from doing that. I tell people, like, keep it simple. We'd love it. Thank you for letting us, serve you today. Like, we'd love it if you left us a review on Google, and you drop in the link to Google, and that's where they go. And we're capturing all of your Google reviews as well. So you have reporting for all of that. So within the product, we have custom reports where you can look at all of your reviews and all of the dimensions of those reviews. We also have reviews by technician. So you could see a report that shows each technician, how many reviews they've generated, what their average rating is. Most folks that I talk to that we work with have some sort of incentive program for their technicians. It's like, hey, every 5-star review you get, I don't know, points toward a drawing we're doing, or every 5-star review you get $10. So folks are, trying to get their techs engaged to generate more reviews, but you have to be able to report on that. So we have reporting that makes that easy as well.
Okay.
Okay. Review response rate, pretty self-explanatory. You want to be responding to reviews. This again is important from an SEO perspective, but I think this becomes more important from a conversion perspective. When folks are making an investment in their home or their business and they're reading reviews, they want to see how businesses respond. People often look at 1-star reviews, bad reviews you get, to see how the business responded. Bad reviews happen, and that's actually a good thing. I've seen some other data that I can't share yet, looking at our entire install base. And the folks who are doing the best tend to have a rate in terms of like number of clicks they're getting on their Google listings, have a rating that's not perfect. It's usually more in like the 4.7 to 4.8 range. People kind of want to see how the business responds when there are negative reviews. And I think consumers are probably a little bit suspicious of any business that has a 5.0 rating. And I've talked to business owners that challenge me on this, and like, is my business like, Derek, be quiet, we want a 5.0 rating. It's like, okay, fair enough, but I'm just telling you, the data show consumers actually they tend to choose businesses that are more in the 4.7, 4.8 range. So
yeah, maybe they think they paid for the reviews, even though you really can't, but maybe they think that, it's like, that's too good to be true to be 5 stars. I get it.
Yeah. I just usually tell people, just be a little self-centered for a moment. Think, how would you respond to this? And if it's me, I treat a 5.0 rating with a little bit of suspicion. In any case, So respond to your reviews, though. I mean, that's the main point here. And I tell folks you should be responding to 100% of your reviews, unless you think it's like fraudulent, bogus. Like, I get that, but really aim for 100%. You know, if people are saying nice things about you online, the least you could do is say thank you. If people are upset, you know, show, you know, that you're acting in good faith to make it right. So whether that person takes down the review, changes it or not, at least other potential customers see that and they say, okay, like this is a business that
cares.
is trying to do the right thing.
Cool.
So talking about new features, this is a good place to talk about something that's coming this month, is automated responses to reviews. So being able to create rules that will allow you to automate responses in certain instances. Let me actually pull up the design for this because I don't have it in the demo yet. Okay, automated responses. So this will be, again, coming. All right, this is coming to the product again this month. So in your settings in Reputation Manager, you will soon see this option for Google auto responses.
Cool.
And then you'll have options 5 through 1 stars where you can activate a autoresponder. So if you select one of those options, in this case, we open the 5-star autoresponder, you'll see first there are rules that you can select from. Respond only to reviews containing no text, send responses only during business hours. So on Google, Google is unique in that it's the only one of these directory sites, the main ones, where you can just leave a rating without saying anything at all. 5 stars, and off about your day, 1 star. You should still respond to those folks, but the notion of sitting down and having to respond to them manually doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So you could say, all right, we're going to set up an autoresponder. We want to respond if it's got text. We want to make sure the response is proper, personalized. I totally get it. In that case, you would select this option. So this responder will only respond in instances where there is no text on the review whatsoever. Send response only during business hours. These are automated responses, but we don't want it to look that way.
Yeah.
So if someone leaves a review at 1 a.m., they're a night owl, up watching infomercials, they're like, oh man, like I'm really sad over like my pipe burst, they came, blah, blah, whatever it is, like, and the response comes immediately, they're gonna be like, this is nonsense. This is not real. This is clearly a machine that sent this.
Yeah.
So probably best to select this option. Similar vein, wait time. So by default, we have it at, I think we have 30 minutes actually is the default wait time. You know, we want the responses to be prompt, but again, if the response fires instantaneously, it doesn't look like a human sat down and did it. And we want to preserve some measure of authenticity and make you feel like, make your customers feel like a person actually looked like this and took the time to write a response.
Yeah.
Then you're going to select 3 to 10 responses. And we're going to give you 10 out of the box as default. You can edit those. You can use those. We just didn't want people to have to start from a blank slate. They are going to be different for every star level. So this is 5 stars. So these aren't the actual responses. We didn't make them trade specific. We had to make them generic, but you will see we actually use ChatGPT to kind of help us figure out like what are some really good responses for each star level for our business.
Yeah.
So you can select at least 3 up to 10. You can edit these. And what's going to happen is you're going to save this rule. And anytime a review comes in that meets our criteria, it will randomly serve one of those 3 to 10 responses. So it's not going to be the same one over and over again. We force you to have at least 3 because, again, we want it to look like, you know, it's not just a machine like spamming the same response to people. So this is a tool with great power. We've tried to bake in some responsibility, great responsibility, so folks, you know, don't use it the wrong way. But I think from people that we've spoken to about this, they're excited for the potential of it. They think of it being used in maybe a more narrow way. Like, yeah, there are certain kinds of reviews, like star ratings with no review, where, yeah, let's just let the autoresponders handle all of those. Or 5-star reviews. Like, man, we're always saying some variation of the same thing. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to serve you again, right? That's a personal decision for each business to make. So this is coming soon. We'll help you with your review responses. So any feedback, questions so far?
I have a quick question on this. Is there any capability to like pull in the name of whoever's leaving the review? So it'll say, thanks, Corey, for your review.
Yes, there is. Where the heck is it? Yeah, so we do have merge tags as part of this as well. Great question. So yeah, if you wanted to say, hey, Corey, hey, Tristan, you could insert that in so it allows for additional personalization.
Cool.
Any other questions on this bit?
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Reviews can also be responded to from the reviews page. So I wonder if I even have any reviews in here. We shall see. Okay, we do have some. So you'll have reviews here. If you want to respond manually, you can do that here. Tristan, we do have the ability to generate automated responses using AI. It will look at the review and actually generate a personalized response. Cool. Feedback on this has been super positive, Corey. I don't know if you use this and play with it, you're not in your head. So yeah.
Yeah,
the usage numbers have been really strong.
Nice. Yeah, I love that it pulls in like elements of what the person said. It helps things up so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this makes life a heck of a lot easier. You know, get in, send good, strong, personalized responses, get back to everything else you have to do. Something else that you can do with this, which is in the bucket of relatively new features, is you can actually customize the prompt. So when we first launched this feature, the prompt itself, we weren't exposing it to our users, but now we actually let you change the prompt. So if you switch to custom, you'll actually see the prompt that we use. This is the default prompt. And you can change this if you want. If you don't like what you've changed it to, you can set it back to the default.
Nice.
But we have had folks who are, more prompt engineering savvy who wanted to be able to make tweaks to it. Like, look, man, I use ChatGPT. Like, you just give me the prompt, I'll get something good for us. Be our guest. Go for it. I had a customer I was talking to last week, and she was like, "Hey, like, we had it. We wanted ours to be a little more witty, but it said something that was kind of like generate a response that was maybe a little derogatory towards our technicians. How do we make sure this doesn't happen?" I'm like, well, you can edit the prompt and like make sure like don't say things like this. So anyway, all the flexibility you get when you're customizing the prompt. So just something else that's relatively new that is worth calling out. Okay, back to the overview dashboard. Review verification rate. So one of the benefits of Reputation and ServiceTitan is we have tools to match jobs to the reviews. There are two ways to do this. We have automated review matching, where every review that comes in will automatically try and match that to a job. And we have manual review matching. So if you have the auto review matching turned off, I say matching, but we also call it review verification. So if you hear those two words, they're the same thing. So if you have review matching turned off, then folks go in and manually match. Corey, I'd actually be eager to hear your experience. Are you using the auto matching, and how well has it worked for you? Because I know for some folks, it's like, the number of false matches has been a little problematic.
Yeah, most brands have the auto match turned on. There are a few that will go in and manually match them, but for the most part, it's accurate. And I do like the feature that if it's not accurate, you can go in and fix it. So for the most part, it's on and works well.
Awesome. So that's really key to the reporting element, Tristan, that we were talking about, like be able to, see like which technicians are generating which reviews.
Yeah.
Is this matching?
Match them.
Exactly.
When it auto matches, how does it do it? Does it look at the email that they have at Google and versus ServiceTitan auto matches? And then if that, however it does it, if it doesn't, we can still go in manually and maybe find and link it, right?
Yeah, so it looks at a number of dimensions. It looks at the time, the date that the review was left. It looks at that against jobs that were completed in a recent time frame. It looks at the location the review was left on, jobs completed for that business location. It looks at the name of the customer. Even though the Google names could say Bart Simpson, but like we still look at it anyway, just in case.
Yeah,
like
factor.
Sometimes it is. For me, it is my name, so it's like you'd be able to match it pretty easily.
Yeah. Okay, so
and
it's
there
like
are
a
a couple
myriad
of
of
other
factors.
dimensions too. Yeah.
Does it auto match, or does it like always have it to where you have to confirm, where it's like, hey, based off all these dimensions, ServiceTitan saying it's this guy, but hey, you click confirm, or is it just go, nope, it's this guy, and then you can go edit it if it's wrong or something?
It goes, nope, it's this guy, and you can edit it if it's wrong. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So if it's on where it says here auto verify is on, it's going to try and match everything. Why this one? It couldn't find a match here, I guess, but also again, this is a demo account, so this could be pretty junky. So if you wanted to match this, yeah, it can't seem to verify. So you could select can't verify. That's an option too. That's something that's relatively new. Corey could probably attest to this. It was very frustrating in the past. It would match to the wrong technician, but you couldn't find the right technician, but you couldn't match to no one. So now we at least have the ability to unmatch completely. Okay, so that's review verification. Then you're going to get, I should pull up the design for this because this is not so great looking with no data. Let me see if I can find this. This design is not going to look exactly like what we're seeing because we're testing some concepts that you don't have yet or that we're not releasing yet.
Okay.
It's these things down here. This is not what it will actually look like, but again, we're just testing concepts. Anyway, this is what you will see though, is average rating data. So you'll see your average rating on Google for the selected time period. Something that is going to be new to Reputation with this dashboard is we're going to show you your historic number as well. So today, or in the previous experience, we only showed you your average rating for the selected time period. We didn't show you like what's the rating on the location page and how do they compare. So now we're going to provide that as well. So yeah, 4.9 like versus 4.1, like you're crushing it. Like you have a 4.1 on your Google page today, but like the reviews you're getting are positive. So you're moving in the right direction. Facebook, Yelp, and then we have a whole slew of other sites that frankly don't get a lot of traction or review engagement, but we do pull reviews from those as well. These are sites like, yp.com and a lot of those directory sites that I was saying, don't have a lot of value from a lead generation perspective, but they have value from a local SEO perspective. And then you can view those trends over time. So this is what the new trend chart will look like. Corey, you're familiar with the old one that went across the screen that wasn't sensitive to the date range select, which personally drove me crazy. Now it will be, so you can actually see performance over the time period you specified. You can see the share you responded to, the share that are verified versus not verified. So you get a sense of over time, like, are we meeting our targets for, generating a good number of reviews?
Yeah. How do you guys get just throughout my life, everyone tries to work with Yelp, they get shut down. How do you guys get it to where you can have the Yelp review come in? Is it like a scraper on the outside, or did you guys figure out some type of API thing, or how'd you get Yelp to play ball?
So Yelp, I have a lot of professional scar tissue with you.
Yeah, exactly. No one can penetrate them. So it's crazy you guys can at least even get a review. I'm just wondering how you guys did it.
No, so Yelp actually, if you just want to get business information and get some of the reviews, it's quite easy. If you want to do things like get all of the reviews and respond to the reviews via API, you need a special partnership with Yelp. We can't do that. What we can do is manage your business information on Yelp, and that's via Yext again. And we can pull the 3 most recent reviews every night. Every night we can get the 3 most recent reviews. And frankly, for most businesses, that's going to cover everything. I'm sure there are some folks out there that are somehow generating more than 3 Yelp reviews per day. I know they exist, but nowadays that's really not common. So it won't give you everything. So hang a big asterisk over Yelp, but
Okay.
you will get the 3 most recent reviews every night, which,
For most are
should
good.
give you most
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, I didn't know there was levels. I thought it was just seemed like there was all or nothing, but really nothing or nothing with Yelp. So at least they give you a little bit. They'll let you know the rating and the most 3 reviews per day. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. And if you ever find me and corner me at Pantheon, I'll tell you all kinds of fun Yelp stories over
Yeah, I
a
always
beer
hear the
someday.
nightmares of Yelp from everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so then let's come on back to the actual. Well, let's not, because there's nothing there either. All right, we'll go back to our design. So what we will have, again, ignore this revenue generated calls and jobs booked. I mean, this does give you a window into where we want to go, although this shouldn't be that far down the page. Like, we do want to start to get to a point where we're saying, okay, you're increasing search rank, you're increasing search views, you're increasing clicks to call, clicks to your website. Let's track those folks through the journey and see how many of them are resulting in like actual, like real leads and like jobs booked and revenue generated. So we can start to connect the dots. You can say, look, we're doing these things. We're improving our search presence. We're driving higher conversion rates, and we see it in the numbers at the end of the day. That's where we're going. What you will have, though, is this bottom section, top performing technicians, which will show you, technicians performance by average rating and number of stars, average rating and number of reviews. And then you can expand this and view the full list. And with any of these data points we're looking at, we actually have the ability to click on them to, let's see.
Kind of drill down and see all the technicians.
Yeah, and why it's not on this one, I do
That
not
average
know.
reviews by technician, is that just Google?
No, that's going to be across. That's any
wow.
review that we're able to match to the technician.
So even Yelp, Facebook, stuff like that.
Yeah, but it will be, in 98% of the cases, they'll be Google.
Yeah,
the reality
that's
of
cool. It pulls it from all though. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Does that data all filter by location as well, if you have multiple locations in reputation?
Yeah. So we do have location filters here. So you'll see up at the top, location filter. So if you want to look at a specific location, we make that really easy for you.
Perfect.
Okay, so I've been trying to do my best to cover demo and new features at the same time. Let me go to my deck that I had in case we didn't have a lot to talk about. Make sure I'm covering everything from a new feature perspective. We have made some improvements to the automated review matching. So some of those are behind the scenes, so you won't really notice, hopefully. It seems to be working a little bit better. There are other levers we can pull in the background. So if some folks, like you, Corey, are like, hey, it works actually pretty well for us. It's pretty accurate. We do talk to folks that for whatever reason, the match rates are lower. We can tweak some things on the back end to make the matches better in those instances. We're essentially just raising the confidence level required to make a match, which means the matches will be more accurate, but you'll have fewer of them that are made. So that's something that we have. Something else that's relatively new too is we have allowed for more flexible targeting / segmentation of your surveys. So when you're building a survey, in the past, we only let you have one survey per business unit. No more. Now you can have multiple surveys per business unit, so long as the segment is unique. So when I say the segment is unique, I mean, when you're going to create the survey and you get to this place where you're defining who it is you're targeting, so long as the selections here do not overlap with another segment, we allow you to proceed. So Tristan, that's not going to mean a heck of a lot for you, because sitting down to use this for the first time, it'll just be like, great, like this will work fine. Yeah, but for Corey, like if you've ever come against this in the past, like this is a workaround for you.
Okay.
Additional local listings fields. This is something we're continuing to push on. when I joined ServiceTitan last year, there were really only a limited number of location data fields that we let you manage here. It's a really small list of stuff. So we're continually adding more here that you can manage directly through the product. If you fill out all these fields, like, hey, there's some other fields I want to manage that I don't see here, you can actually connect directly to Yext by clicking this listings button and access even more fields on your business. I don't want that to be the experience. It is today. We're going to continue to add more of those fields into the product so you don't have to go to Yext to manage some data. But we've focused on prioritizing the most important things from an SEO perspective here first. There are some gaps, but those gaps, again, you can fill those in by going over to listings and filling them directly on Yext. Customize, we talked about the prompt. Okay, so coming very soon, we've gone through the dashboard. We've talked about auto response to reviews. Something else that's coming that's new, this is not the most like, oh my, amazing, exciting feature, but I think it'll be really important when you're generating, running review generation campaigns, is providing better feedback on review request delivery. So today in the product, we show you every review request that gets sent out, but you don't really get a sense of whether these actually delivered or not, because some of them may not. There could be a number of reasons why a survey doesn't deliver, and you're a bit blind to that. So we've had folks come to us and say, hey, we've got this survey running. It doesn't seem to be working very well. What's going on? And we'll look and we'll see something in their account. We're like, well, yeah, it's not delivering for X, Y, Z reasons. That's not the time you want to know that. You want to get that feedback in a little more real time. So what we are doing here is, and again, this should be this month as well, is we're actually going to be providing delivery metrics. These numbers probably aren't going to make a lot of sense because our designer just threw numbers in there. But you'll be able to see. At least you can see
if they got delivered now. Because sometimes it's like, we'll text it to a landline. I think that's one. Or yeah, we had our TCR go down or something. I don't remember, and it wasn't delivering. So, but this at least would tell us. We'd have to go through each individual chat to see which ones failed before. So that's nice.
Exactly. So you'd see here, if you're coming in here and your delivery rate is really poor, you can actually see the errors, expose those errors, and understand exactly what's, again, ignore our text. This is just for the design.
Yeah, and 199 clicks. That'd be funny.
Yeah, indeed. Like also 17
understand.
requests, 800 sent. Like, I don't know. Yeah,
it's all good.
You're getting like the real inside look.
Yeah, it's all good.
Session.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is coming soon too. So that's kind of the next batch of work that you're going to see delivered. We have some other smaller improvements that are in the product now, like internal reviews. You can get reporting on those now, download those. So we didn't talk about this directly, Tristan, but you can generate reviews that just you get that don't go to Google. Some folks want to do that.
Surveys. Okay.
Yeah, so you can download those here, so you can see the actual reviews you're getting.
Internal,
and we've also added that to
reports.
We've also added this to our custom reports.
Cool.
So we've covered a lot of ground. We've got about 10 minutes left. Would love to know if there's anything on your all's lists that you'd like me to touch on before I fill the last bit of time with other thoughts or best practices that are worth considering.
Not on my end. I really just was here to see all of the new features. So I like a lot of the things that you talked about today. So I'm excited to see those in action.
Awesome. Good. Tristan, anything that for you, as you're sort of like considering this, like have any questions? And sorry, Corey, I'm not put you on the spot, but you actually have someone here who uses the product, so you can get the unbiased feedback. I promise you won't hurt my feelings if you have challenges. I actually like to hear things that we could be doing better. But any other questions you have?
On my side, just any features that's here so I can make a better informed decision. I did have a slight question in the beginning about the ads optimizer, but I did watch a demo about it. I think it'll send it'll have all your campaigns broken up, and then so you could track it by campaign how it's converting, and then it also pushes data back to Google, which Google really likes for like, hey, this type of lead resulted in a $5,000 install, and then Google uses their algorithm to be like, okay, well, this is this avatar. Okay, it wants more people like this avatar. So I think I understand Optimizer. If it's different than that, though, let me know.
No, I mean, you've pretty much got it. Google and
Okay.
Facebook starting, well, I guess really it was after the iOS 14 change, and targeting became really challenging. They really started to push on these conversion APIs where you send your actual conversion data back to Facebook, or in our case, Google, and say, all right, this transaction occurred. Google's able to take that ID and say, oh, okay, it was this kind of person. Like, let's go find more people like that
Yeah.
and serve the ad to them to help boost your conversion rates. It
Cool.
is incredibly powerful on Google. It is incredibly powerful on Facebook. I've seen it do. Before I was at ServiceTitan, I was at another startup, and we were focusing on using predictive intelligence around customer lifetime value to optimize ad campaigns. And we were using these APIs, and I've seen just how well they can optimize performance. So it's pretty exciting. But yeah, you've got the right idea in terms of how it
How it
works.
works. Okay. Yeah, they said in the other webinar that is like they noticed a considerable change once they added that and started sending the feedback back to Google. They started getting a lot better leads. They said like before the LSA would call and they'd be like probably spam, like a year or two ago, there was a lot of more spam on LSA. Then now it's like, oh God, yes, it's a LSA call. Those are good leads. And they said the change was they got Marketing Pro and started using Ads Optimizer. So I just want to make sure that is how it works. And you guys, just in general. Okay, cool.
Yeah, people who haven't used these conversion APIs to optimize their campaigns, and then they do it for the first time, like usually it's pretty mind blowing. Like,
That's cool.
Okay.
All right, cool.
So yeah, definitely worth checking out. But yeah, boy, the other stuff that I had for us to talk about, it gets into the weeds pretty fast, and it's talking a lot about, hey, like what you can do to optimize your Google profile. The TLDR and all this stuff, frankly, is, really make sure that, you're claiming your businesses, you're managing your listings across the ecosystem. You're completely filling out the information, like put as much info in there as possible, get more reviews, respond to reviews, and don't just like set it and forget it. Go back, like make improvements here and there, update, the photos of your business. Just remember, people are looking at this. They're looking for signals that like, I'm even going to consider this business. So, showing how many years you've been in business for, having like good pictures of your team, your trucks, the work that you've done. Just remember these listings are a selling tool. You're not pitching to your customers, you're pitching to the people that you want to be your customers. And whether you're using features like Google Posts or Q&A or the photos, again, like make sure that, you're not treating it like Instagram where you're preaching to the converted. It's like you want to make sure that you're showing folks like why they should pick you over the competition, and give them enough information where they feel like, okay, yeah, I'll call them and let them be one of the companies that, gives me an estimate.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, just keep it updated. That makes sense. If I'm a consumer and I go to a person whose website says it was updated in 2021 and their Facebook hasn't been active in 5 years and their, GBP is just dead, I'm like, man, are these guys even alive? Yep.
Exactly. Like if I'm looking for a plumber near me, I open this up, I'm looking at all this. All right, well, this one's got good picture, 4.9, 10 years in business. 4.8 doesn't tell me how long they've been in business for. Like immediately,
yeah, that one looks
in the
cool.
lead to me.
Yeah.
So it's taking advantage of this stuff. These two have the exact same photo. Like, no
so that's
thanks.
stock, right away. Yep.
Yeah, it's stock, or like, I don't know, they're not. It seems stock. If it's not, it's even worse. Like they actually tried to take a photo and they left the same one on multiple listings.
Huh.
This guy's got one review in 35 years of business. Like that doesn't seem right. I don't believe for a minute this guy works for this company. So this is like what people actually do when they're scrolling this. And, if you have a company like this, like, all right, that looks like real work. They've got a lot of reviews.
20 years in business. Yeah.
20 years in business. Like
that one looks good. Yeah.
These are the things we're looking for. And then if you click on it, like, and of course, my
Yeah.
At least it's not our
Spinning
app
wheel
that's
of
not
death.
working. It's
Yeah.
Google. All right. If you click on it, like what services do they offer?
Like fully, listed out.
All
Lots
this.
of good
Like, this is
photos. Yeah, this is awesome. They
great
do this
listing.
work. Yeah.
Exactly. You had one Google post. All right. But anyway, so just something to think about.
Cool.
That's my, 2-minute version of that massive deck that I just briefly showed.
Valuable.
But yeah, if you ever have any feedback, questions, let me know. We're always looking for, ways we can make the product better or opportunities to expand what we're doing. So don't be shy.
Cool. And then if we want to move forward, I think Hanso is always the guy. Just reach out to him, right, Hanso? Okay, or any sales questions.
Probably. I'm not sure precisely who you're working with. Sounds like that'd probably be appropriate.
It always seems to be him whenever I have a pro product, and he's usually the one on the webinar. So okay, cool.
Yeah, maybe if after you sign up, like you have thoughts, questions, and for whatever reason you don't know where to turn, like shoot me an email, dbrowers@servicetitan.com. We'll talk to our customers. So
okay, that'd be cool, man. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you both taking the time. It was a pleasure meeting you both, and I'm glad we got to cover both of what y'all are looking for in a way that kind of work together. So thank you again for taking the time, and hope we get to talk in soon.
Yeah, appreciate it, Derek. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Corey.
Thank you.
Bye.